Hello, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and everybody else under the rainbow of our wonderful community. How are you doing today? We are here with a new otome, Saintess of the Golden Bow. Now, this is a demo. It came out mid-June, I believe, and we're doing a cheeky little collab stream. We have one of the devs in chat with us. If Transparent wants to say hi again, they can. But we are here to check out the demo, maybe one or two parts, just depending on time. But I'm super excited about this. One, I love the art. I love the style of the art. And two, as we were talking in chat earlier, some people thought it would be like a ribbon bow, like Saintess of like the golden like ribbon bow. No, I was into this because it's a bow, like a weapon, like an archery bow. And it's like, that, love that, love that. So, I got really excited earlier because I was working with the sound and things like that. And just a quick little preference here. We do window, we do full screen. I'm doing window just because I can have chat and all that. You guys don't know that. It's all behind the scenes stuff. We're not going to get here probably. But we have our basic text speed, auto speed, music, sound, and voice. I turn down the music and such, and I keep up the voices just so they're not drowned out. But here's something that I love. Is when, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it moves. It's a scale. It's not just a click and it's only 6 points. It's a scale, and I love when otomes do that and they have the music scale. Because sometimes I want it to be 3 and 33% of this. Sometimes I want to just like, you know, ease it all the way wherever. And I'm like, that is it. I'm over there like, you know, Pacha, like, just, it sings like, you know. So I got really excited about that. Me playing otomes, the more I play, the more I'm like, man, I actually fucking have preferences. There's things I like in my otomes. And this is one of them. Now, well, it said character voices.
That's
so
hot, that's sexy, fucking do it.
Johnny with the 5 months sub, guys. Can we put some Reaper love in the chat for Johnny, please? Look at that, starting off strong with Frisky Flirty Friday. Tompy, thank you for putting in the game link. And for YouTube, all the links will be in the description below so you guys can also check out the game. The cashier at Tesco told me strip down facing me. By the time I realized this meant my debit card, it was too late. Oh man. YouTube doesn't get to see that. I don't know why it doesn't pop up in my chat, but that was funny. I do have preferences that aren't love interests. I have preferences with like apparently these kinds of preferences. But yeah, so there's voice volume, so I might not be a voice actor today. I might just get to sit back and like just enjoy a story. Although I do enjoy doing the voices. As usual, start, load, preferences. We don't have a gallery yet just because it is the demo. I would assume credits, Patreon, if anyone wants to go support them, and then obviously quitting the game, which is where we are not going to start, over here. Extra frisky, absolutely. I love that. Okay, I'm a sucker for rain scenes. Is this an isekai? Oh, wait, is this an isekai? I need a, where's my business card? Just pretend this is my credit card, just pretend. Fucking love isekais, let's go! Shh, no I didn't. No, I didn't. I always like to be surprised. I don't want to know shit about this. I just want to know what the love interests look like, and that is it. No, I don't read shit. Which is, I'm surprised people collab with me. I'm surprised indie otome devs collab with me, because literally I do not. They're like, here's some pretty art for my game. Would you like to try it? Who are the love interests? Here's some art of the love interests. I'm in. Like, there, no thoughts, head empty. Are the characters hot? Yes, I'm in. Oh, I hate admitting this. I'm so sorry, transparent. I also love that my chat thinks that I prepare. I just show up. I just show up to streams. There's no preparation involved for this shit. Anyway, isekai. Let's fucking go. Just my luck. Why does it have to be pouring now? I want to go home. Fucking men. I'll be soaked by the time I reach the subway. I run down the street holding my bag over my head in a futile attempt to block the rain. I do my best to stay underneath those shop awnings. The cars speeding down the street, however, kick up puddles that shower me in rainwater. I'm ill-prepared for such weather. I didn't even take a hoodie with me, let alone an umbrella. Sweetie. Look, I'll be honest, I don't got a TV, so I can't check the news. Did we not check the weather report this morning? Honey. Sweetheart, that's like the one thing I check. The damp cold seeps into my body, making me shiver. This day sucks. My boss yelled at me again, and I had to cover for my sick coworker on top of doing my own tasks. An office job sucks. I recently graduated from college and got this boring job where all I can do is call people to sell them beauty products. Adult life sucks. It hadn't taken me long to tire of the monotony of adult life. I just want to curl up under a blanket and read web novels. She be me! Although, to be fair, in the chat, does anyone else read web novels, like through webtoons, anything? I think webtoons is the really big one that's really popular amongst different countries. Do you guys read webtoons or, like, online comics? Not manga, not manhwa, but, like, the colored, like, full illustrations. They're just like comics of otomes, basically. Yeah! Of course the dev does! Which one's your favorite? Which one do you love right now? My favorite one at the moment is my in-laws are obsessed with me. It's not really an isekai, but it's like a come back to life one. It's so good. Being the heroine of a fantasy romance novel would be such an amazing life. Fighting to save a kingdom from impending doom with magical powers and falling in love with a hottie. She be me for real. Thinking about what to read next, I run through the crosswalk. TRUCK-KUN! TRUCK-KUN! By the time I noticed the light was actually red, not green, it's too late. I'm in the middle of the crosswalk with a truck driving straight at me. I freeze. My mind tries to calculate if I could possibly save myself by taking a few more steps ahead or back. But no, there's no way to avoid death. You can be really creative with scenes like this to show that change, right? From the isekai trope, right? TRUCK-KUN. This is really nicely done. Damn. Ah! It hurts. The pain, it's excruciating. My whole body hurts so much. Until I suddenly stop feeling anything anymore. The absence of pain brings me relief. I let my life go. The next thing I know, I'm floating in a cotton-like substance? I feel comforted, safe even. Have I really died? Am I in heaven now? But I wanted to read the last chapter of my favorite author's new web novel. Now I'll never find out what happens to the heroine in the end. A chuckle escapes me, a loud sound in this quiet place. I'm pathetic, aren't I? I died, and now I'm just thinking of my hobbies. Not my parents or my friends. Not that I had a great relationship with anybody anyway. I was quite a loner. What is that sound? In the emptiness, I can hear someone singing. An angelic voice. It's calling to me. You must fight on. I must? But I'm dead. I don't have to do anything. Suddenly I feel a pull. My soul gets grabbed and yanked towards a golden whirlpool. I scream, but no sound comes out of my mouth. I close my eyes, the shifting reality around me making me feel dizzy. Okay, the backgrounds are really pretty. Hello? When my senses return to me again, the first thing I notice is the fresh scent of a forest. I open my eyes and look around. I'm in the middle of the woods. Lush canopies of trees above me sway gently in a light breeze. Is she wearing Yes! She's wearing pants! We love it! Good. Excellent. I think she's wearing pants. I'm gonna say she's wearing pants. She's already got a bow on her. Okay. So here's the thing. People are like, oh, isekai'd, you get to be in a new world and, you know, the mundane life to the exciting life where you're, you know, Mary Sue and you're always the hero kind of thing. And my favorite part of isekai's is as soon as they enter the new world is like, okay, whose body have you inhabited? And they're always going to be like, I'm the villain. I'm the sister of the villain. I'm the sister of the heroine who secretly wants my sister's husband to be and stuff like that. Like, they always tell you in title, like, in, like, straight up on the thing. But it's like, you always find out more through the story. She is wearing pants! Yes! Good. You know, I just imagine doing archery in a skirt or a dress. I just feel like that would be very difficult. Yes, pants. Team pants. I'm just trying to think if that sounded wrong. If it did, don't tell me. If it did, just we're moving on. There's something heavy in my hand, and when I look down, I see that I'm holding a simple hunting bow. My feet, clad in riding boots, sink into the damp green moss of the forest floor. I'm out hunting, I realize. Wait, how is this possible? I just died and... It's been ages since I handled a bow. Last time I practiced archery was in middle school, back when my parents could still afford to spoil me. I also hadn't put on such high boots today for work, or these fancy pants, or this jacket. The outfit looks almost like it belongs in a Korean webcomic. Who am I? Celeste? Where are you, Celeste? Somehow I suddenly realize I'm supposed to be hiding. Hiding from what or whom, I don't understand. I only know I must seek cover. The urge to disappear from sight is so strong that I don't even question it. I find a thicket of bushes and dive into them, not caring that my outfit will get dirty and torn. From my hiding spot, I observe the situation, holding my breath. For anybody who voted in the Instagram story poll, he is one of the contenders that I might romance. Might. I'm not sold yet. I wear a skirt because my skirts have pockets. My pants have, like, smaller pockets than my skirts do. That is why I wore a skirt to work today. Also, it's hot, and it's breezy. Leave me alone. Hybrid, what did you do? A handsome man with red hair tied back in a ponytail runs towards me. He's wearing some sort of fantasy armor, and he has two thin swords on his hips. Ooh. Like rapiers, or... I recognize this person. This man is my knight, Levi Parenth. Okay, so my knight. As in, he protects me. Wait, I don't have a night. I'm Celine. I'm a 21-year-old simple American office worker, fresh out of college with a job in sales. Is that really the whole truth, though? Levi turns left and right, searching for me. Celeste, please come out. Failing to discover me, he runs off. I recognize this guy's looks from somewhere, and the name Celeste is familiar too. No. Oh, I know. Okay, wait. She's either in her favorite webcomic, the webcomic that she's currently reading, or the new comic of her favorite author that she mentioned before. It's one of those three. It's always one of those three. No, I couldn't have. Did I get reincarnated? Here? Out of all the books or games that could have been the setting for my reincarnation, Wait. Does this mean what it's supposed to mean? Or is that another acronym? Is that? Out of all the books or games that could have been the setting for my reincarnation, why did I have to end up in the BL tragic fantasy web novel? Why this one? Yes! Why did 3, come to mind that I'm reading? Oh my god, yes! It's always tragedy, too. It's always tragic. It can never have a happy ending. Ah! Saint of the Golden Bow is the work's name. It was recently adapted to a webcomic. That's how popular it was. The book used to be one of my favorites, but the world of this story is not a nice place to live. There's a war going on with the Demon Queen and Celeste. Why did I have to be reincarnated as her? Is she the sister of the saint, and rather than the saint getting the bow, she gets the bow because she knows that's how she'll survive? I'm sorry, I'm gonna make guesses like this the entire time, just based on tropes. What I just witnessed was the opening scene of the book. Before Levi is chosen to become the titular saint, he goes out hunting with his unrequited love, the lady he's serving. Ooh, okay. He's supposed to protect Celeste, but he loses sight of her at some point and... Okay. An ungodly sound makes the hairs on my skin stand up. Babe, kick ass, let's go. The creature that made the sound appears to my right. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. An abomination. A demon. The imp's leathery wings flap in the air, then the creature flies towards me. It has spotted me. Oh, I love the runes on the wings. It's such a nice touch. This is the moment when Celeste de Caris dies a miserable death to become part of Levi's tragic backstory. But I just died from being hit by a truck. I don't want to die again. Especially not in a scripted event where I'm supposed to just fade away so I can serve as a part of someone else's tragedy. What about my tragedy? Not doing anything to save myself is not like me at all. Nice. The imp is still far enough away from me to attempt to save my life. I have to act quickly. The monstrosity is coming closer and closer. My hands are sweaty and my arms are shaking. I refuse to give up. Ooh. She did archery. Okay, so here's the thing. There's the options of one of these could be the right answer and the other one I die. This one could be I don't need no man and there's no romance route with Levi, while this one could be the romance route with Levi. But low-key, I kind of like her thing of, you know, shoot the demon. We're gonna become Saintess of the bow, like, I should be able to fucking shoot, right? I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him. In my hands, I hold the key to my salvation. I pull out an arrow, draw back, and aim at the imp that's flying straight at me. I take a breath and release it, remembering what I was taught in middle school about archery. When I'm sure of my shot and I know I can't delay any longer, I send the arrow flying. The arrow hits the demon straight in its ugly little head. With a final frightening sound, the monstrosity falls to the ground. I breathe heavily, collapsing to my knees. I did it. I thump my balled up fist against the ground, feeling the damp moss beneath my fingers. I breathe deeply again, taking in the smells of the gorgeous forest. They calm me down. I'm alive. Tears roll down my cheeks. I was terrified, but I survived. Celeste! Levi comes running towards me. When he sees the imp dead a few steps away from me and the bow still grasped in my hands, a gasp of surprise escapes his lips. Celeste, what happened? Did you kill this demon yourself? I nod, for a moment entertaining the thought that I am indeed Celeste, not Celine. I open my mouth to explain the situation, but my voice sounds raw and shaky. I killed the demon. I finally managed to whisper. Levi walks up to me and kneels down before me. My lady, can you walk? I give his question some thought, but I feel so weak. I wipe my tears away. I don't think so. I'll carry you. No, there's no need for... Ah! And we are blessed immediately. Oh, I love that art. Okay, so if we're being totally honest, right? The art in the beginning when we were Celine, before the isekai, as well as the sprites, are very much otome-esque, right? Like, that's the very anime, otome-esque art vibe. But I don't know if anybody else can tell. There's just a way with this, to me, and I could totally be talking out of my butt here, but there's just something in the details of, like, the faces and the way that they're drawn, especially the details here on the chin and the neck, that are, like, it makes me feel like they took inspiration from actual Korean web novels or web comics. Like, there's just a slight shift in the art. Doesn't make it better, doesn't make it worse. It actually makes me feel like, oh yeah, she really was isekai'd, because there is a completely different, like, tone about this. It's really on him, I'll be honest. There's just something here that I'm like, the amount of times I've seen such a look in webtoons. Love it. I love this. What is up, sweet summer beach? How are you? Welcome, welcome. What brings you over to our end of the Twitchiverse? What's up, Danish? You had a long day? Ooh, yeah, that sounds like a lot. Dang. We'll come in, relax. We're just doing a little otome stream, a little frisky, flirty Friday. You know the drill. We're just being blessed early on. Levi takes me in his arms, bridal style. The bow slips from between my fingers. I need to change Levi's voice, so bear with me as I test things out, because I think I know where I want to put the other two, but Levi's right now is too similar to Celeste, so I need to kind of configure that. Our close proximity is so embarrassing. I want to hide my face, but I can only do so against his chest, which is a less than ideal option.
My bow. worry about the weapon.
That's
I
hot.
will
That's
return for
sexy.
your bow
I
later.
can do it.
Right now, it's of utmost importance that I carry you back to the safety of the mansion.
Sweet Summer Beach, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Can you just make sure that you're not a robot like my lovely mods have did the command for? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, okay, only CGs are voiced. Oh god, great. So now my voice acting is going to be compared to these guys. Naruhodo. Okay, great. Thanks. Good to know. I'm going to... So you know what we do, though? Do I read the Ichio page before? Hell no. Do you know what I do, though, when there's voice acting involved? We look at that shit. Because... I want to know who's acting. I know, did I read... I feel like I saw Jet. Yep, Jet Barker is in this. I follow them on Twitter. Who do we got here? So Celeste is Veronica Laux, Laux, and Levi is Nick Chang. Oh, they're beautiful. Thank you, Tomfy.
But it's...
I still protest. Levi gives me a glare.
No buts. Let me do my job, for once.
The voice actor's gonna make me fall in love! I let out a long sigh and stop resisting. Levi walks toward where we left our horses, or so my memory as Celeste recalls. So I really am Celeste now. I'm part of the world of the Saint of the Golden Bow. But I was supposed to die, so what will my survival mean for the story now? Oh my god. Okay. So, chat, we've played so many otomes. I gotta know, what is your opinions of voice acting in otomes? Do you prefer no voice acting in CGs, voice acting, or like overall voice acting, including or not including the main character? Like, there's so many options of voice acting when it comes to like otomes and where you could input it, things like that. So how much voice acting do you like in these games? All washed up, my lady. After an awkward bath where I had to let my maid Linda wash me, I'm finally dressed in a nightgown and allowed to rest. My body feels weak, the shock of dying, reincarnating, then almost dying again, finally taking a toll on me. A loud yawn escapes my lips. I cover my mouth. I'm going to lie down. Is there anything else you need from me? Ah, I forgot. I'm supposed to formally dismiss Linda whenever I want to be alone. She's Celeste's servant, after all. I'm good for now. I'll call you later if I need anything. All right, my lady. Linda curtsies before me, and then she exits the room. I sink into the softness of the mattress, taking a good look around the room. This place is an undeniably expensive, polished, fancy look. Somebody has tried very hard to make the atmosphere more feminine, and I know it wasn't Celeste. The Celeste the book mentions is quite the tomboy, caring little for girly things like dolls and decorations. She doesn't have good social skills, she lacks proper knowledge of etiquette, and she dances like an elephant. Instead, she's great at archery, hunting, and riding horses. However, the society deems all of those activities inappropriate for a lady, and thus she doesn't have many friends. Sounds so much like me in my past life. The only two people who really like Celeste are Levi, who for some reason that isn't really explained in the book, adores his lady, and... It's like a twin? Celeste, are you alright? Finally, I got one right. One of my guesses. Celeste's twin sister. I'm always gonna mess up this name. Is it? It's Eurydice? Eurydice? Is it Eurydice? I always mess up this name. Eurydice. 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 Okay, Eurydice. Okay, I can do this. I can do this, chat. Someone remind me of that next week when I forget. Are you also in your nightgown? Because that's a fancy nightgown. The book also briefly mentions Eurydice as part of Levi's backstory, simply describing her as the more ladylike twin who loves pink and romance novels. She's the one that decorated our room, isn't she? I feel Celeste's emotions for Eurydice in my heart, though. Celeste really cherishes her sister. Celeste? Eurydice notices that I'm staring at her with a faint smile on my face. I'm all right. Thanks for worrying about me. She rushes over to my bed, fixing the pillow under my head and helping me sit up. Well, of course I'm worried about you. You're my beloved sister. What would I do if I lost you? I'm fine. I've been through worse. Then they're gonna be like, what do you mean worse? This is why you shouldn't be doing... Let's do Levi was with me. I feel like that's like a move in Levi's direction. Levi was with me. Levi was with me. Nothing bad could have happened to me under his protection. You think I don't know how you always run off from Levi during your hunts? Making excuses that you have to be alone because he's stomping too loud, scaring your prey off? Busted. I know that is exactly what Celeste has always done. Suddenly I wonder if Celeste somehow realized Levi was in love with her and has just been trying to avoid the awkwardness of his puppy-like adoration. Your feelings on the matter are unclear to me. I'm not sure. You got me. Did you split from Levi this time too, sister? I did. Figures. Eurydice lets out an annoyed sigh. I give her a wide smile, enjoying our conversation despite her chastising me. I really like having a friend whom I can talk to freely. I really would like to know what happened today, though. Levi babbled something about a demon? I'd like to know more too, for the matter. Good dad design! Good dad design! Before people are like smash or pat, no, it's just a good dad design. Leave me alone. I didn't say daddy, I just said good dad design. Don't put words in my mouth, because and before people are like, we didn't say anything, it's, I know you people. Father walks into the room without knocking or otherwise warning us of his presence. He has a stern look on his face, but that's just his usual expression. The joy I felt at talking to Eurydice momentarily evaporates. New emotions from Celeste surface in my heart. Her father has always made her feel lesser, inadequate. Yeah, because you're twins, and he probably wants you as feminine as, your sister. I review her memories of him and curse inwardly. To say her father favors Eurydice wouldn't at all capture the severe inequality of the situation. During some of their past interactions, he has been outright abusive, belittling Celeste and calling her names. I stiffen my spine, sitting up straighter. I took so much shit as Celine, and I'm not going to do it again as Celeste. What happened today that's left you so disheveled? I look down at myself. The only blemish in my appearance is a scratch on my knee from when I hid in the bushes. The mark is so small that I didn't even notice it while bathing. Otherwise, I'm wearing a fresh nightgown and all cleaned up. There's nothing disheveled about me. I give Father a defiant look. As you can see, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Father huffs. You and your sister's 18th birthday is in 3 days. We're leaving for the capital the day after tomorrow. If you're not healed up and in top form by then, I'll be up and running by tomorrow. My body feels tired and heavy, but it's nothing a bit of sleep can't fix. I see Eurydice scoot slightly to the left as if taking a step away from Father's negative energy. You'd better be. I don't want you to ruin the golden bow ceremony for your sister. I've connected the dots. You haven't connected shit. I've connected them. Not a brother and Saint. Saint is Levi, because we were supposed to die. The Saintess is still there. It's just supposed to be her. Joke's on you, Dad. It's me now. You're banned from leaving the mansion for the next 3 days. I open my mouth to tell him off, but my eyes land on Eurydice. She shakes her head slightly. To honor her wishes, I decide not to agitate Father any further. All right. I nod. I don't feel like going hunting or horseback riding anyway. Someone would quickly notice I'm not as good at those activities as Celeste should be. I'm still not sure how much of her skills I can access for myself. Levi set me in front of himself on his horse to return us to the mansion earlier, so I have no idea if I actually know how to ride a horse by myself. I only rode a horse once or twice as Celine when I was a kid, not nearly enough to match Celeste's experience. Now, tell me what happened. I killed a demon. Both Father and Eurydice let out gasps of surprise. You... what? Levi said you two had an encounter with a demon, but I assumed he was the one to kill it. I shake my head and smile. I shot an imp with my bow. What was such a monstrosity doing in the middle of Lokari Empire lands? We're far from the war front. The imp was conveniently there to kill Celeste for Levi's tragic backstory. I want to tell the truth, but of course I won't. Father and Eurydice would take me for a mad woman if I babble about them being characters from a novel. I don't know, but the monster attacked me, so I killed it. I shrug like my actions were nothing out of the ordinary. After all, in the face of danger, it's kill or be killed. Father sits down in the chair next to the entrance of my room and hides his face in his hands. I knew my daughter wasn't much of a noble lady, but this... He mumbles loudly enough for both Eurydice and I to hear him. My sister and I share a smile. Where was your knight when the demon attacked you? Okay, so... see, what had happened was, he was actually doing his job. I was just kind of being a little bit of a bitch, which is pretty on par for me, if we're gonna be honest here. I should choose my words carefully. I don't want Levi to take the blame for my actions. I ran off on him again. I wanted to hunt on my own. Of course. He lets out a long sigh like I'm burdening him more than he can bear. My body takes this moment to remind me how tired I am. A big yawn escapes my lips. I cover my mouth with my hand. Rest. Father gets up and gestures for Eurydice to leave. Eurydice nods and walks behind him out of the room. She turns back to me when she's in my doorway and gives me a warm smile. Get some rest. I'll be back later. I return her smile and sink more deeply into the bed, making myself comfortable. It doesn't take long for me to fall into dreamless slumber. Oh, Ceres, have a good nap! Speaking of, what I asked, I was gonna say, I asked Transparent earlier. I failed to oust the villain, and villains are destined to die. Oh, villains are destined to die is a good one. The voice acting question. I like games had full voice acting in games overall. It depends. Overall is good because then you can immerse yourself in the game itself and listen to the story, but other times it's good to give your own voices. That's fair. Again, the thing with otomes, right, is that you can kind of self-insert. But I'll be fair, a lot of otomes, it's like half and half now. We used to not have, like, main characters with, like, visuals. Like, sometimes it's just, like, you know, maybe the face is darkened, like shadowed, I should say, and like we get like hair and like maybe sizes and things, but it's kind of half and half now that we actually get a fully designed main character. So for better or for worse, it's everyone's preference. I don't care. If I know what the main character looks like, great. If I can design the main character, great. If the main character has a design already, great. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna immerse myself either way. Like, I'm going for these romances, right? But sometimes that and voice acting alongside it can stop people from getting immersed in it. Like, I have heard people say, like, I don't like it when the MC has their own voice because then I can't think of it as my voice, right? And I understand always. I love voice acting. I think voice actors are incredibly talented. And I enjoy hearing voice acting. I enjoy it. So voice acting is not really a hard requirement for me to enjoy any game, mostly because I read faster than the VAs, but it's a nice addition and can personalize the game. I think for me, voice acting is really nice when you're streaming it, because then I don't have to do 5 voices. But at the same time, with Hummingbird's Crown, I enjoy doing all those voices. So, like, I think it's based on my mood personally, but again, I mean, you could take away the voice acting, like the voice lines in the preferences, you could put that to 0 if you didn't like it. And I think that's always a good choice to have. I think all otome should have that choice of like, there is voice acting if you want it, but if you don't, just take the voice lines, just take that sound and just put it down to 0. You won't hear anything. So you should feel called out. I'm calling you out always. Thank you for the hydrate, by the way. Nice. When I wake up again, the rays of morning sun pour into my room. Oh, she's so pretty. I love this design. God, I knew I liked the purple hair and like the pink eyes, but the more I see it, the more I really love it. I get out of the bed and stretch to make sure my body's working properly. I feel refreshed after my long sleep. No more weakness in my limbs. Everything's in order again. I walk to the desk and sit down. I take a fresh sheet of paper. I hesitate when I realize there's only a quill for writing, but I won't be stopped. I produce a few scratchy letters. My handwriting looks horrible. Seems I can't directly access Celeste's skills after all. That's quite inconvenient. I can manage to write with a quill, but not very well, and only in English, of course. I have to write down everything I know about the web novel Saint of the Golden Bow so I can organize my knowledge of the world and line it up with Celeste's memories. Scratchy handwriting or not, I need to sort out all my assets. Let's start with the basics. Saint of the Golden Bow is a romantic tragedy fantasy web novel by the Korean web novelist... Oh, I'm going to mess up Korean names. Hanyul Kim. Which I know it's completely wrong. That's like the Englishified version of their name. Dang it. I read the English translation on one of my favorite web novel and comic apps. The story was supposed to be turned into a webcomic and had promo art, which is how I was able to recognize Levi immediately. His design and the artwork even had him in the same outfit he was wearing on the day of the demon attack. I get up for a moment and wander over to the mirror. I touch a hand to the glass. The design of Celeste wasn't included in the promo art. I take in my new features. Purple hair and pink eyes. A slender figure. There's no denying it. I'm really not Celine anymore. The understanding that I have reincarnated into the novel finally settles in my mind. I feel calm. Calmer than I ever thought I would be if something out of a novel suddenly changed the course of my life. There's no fighting the reality, is there? As strange as the situation is, I'm Celeste, and I have her memories, but somehow I'm Celine as well, equipped with knowledge of this world that Celeste never had. I walk back to the desk and sit down to continue organizing my thoughts. Oh, I was just thinking... Because I was like, there's a lot of like sibling rivalry in Korean web comics and web novels, and I was trying to think of like a web comic where like the siblings wouldn't fight, because we kind of can feel, right? If you read web comics, Korean web comics, and we're the main character now, while the sister is supposed to be the Saintess, or this is supposed to be about her, it's gonna become about us, right? Like, for some reason or another. And I don't know what relationship that's going to create between them. But I was trying to think of like other sibling relationships. And there's one comic called I'll Save This Damned Family. And the siblings aren't necessarily like loving like these two are, Celeste and Eurydice, but they start out not liking each other, and then they have a respect for each other as the person who's reincarnated like starts changing who the character was really, and like that makes her siblings like kind of respect her in a sense. I missed that one. I need to read that one again too. So I'm kind of like, man, I hope they still have a good relationship after this. Misaka, hello! Friday, AA. You mean Frisky Flirty Friday, AA. How you doing? How's your week been? Maybe after I process everything, I'll break down and cry about my fate. Right now, however, I don't feel like moping around. Instead, I want to fight for a better fate. Back to Saint of the Golden Bow. The book starts with Celeste's death event. Levi was in love with his lady for years, but the actual love interest of the story is Prince Noah. And I am either going to love him or I am going to hate him. It is between Levi and Noah. And I don't know if I'm going to like Noah, because he's kind of the snarky prince, and I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of royalty. I'd rather dukes. Dukes and duchesses? Like, that's my shit. Princes and princesses, I'm like, that's fine, I don't care. That's a lot of shit I gotta do later on when I become queen or empress or, you know, whatever. But, like, so I don't know. I don't know about him. Celeste has to die at the beginning of the book to make Levi feel at his lowest when the Golden Bow chooses him as the saint. Why didn't Celeste save herself if she was said... Excuse me. Why didn't Celeste save herself if she was said to be so great at archery? It was possible for me to use my mediocre skills to defeat the demon. Must be book logic. She had to die for the story in the Saint of the Golden Bow to proceed the way it did. Soon after Celeste's death, Levi's quest to save the Lokari Empire from the Demon Queen begins. However, he doesn't go alone. Noah, as well as High Priest Elijah, the second love interest, both accompany him on the journey. I'm trying to see who I would ship Levi with. I mean, I'd still probably ship him. I'd probably ship him with Noah, just because it'd be funny. Noah and Levi fall in love. Noah and Levi fall in love. Elijah falls in love with Levi too, but Levi chooses Noah. When the final confrontation with the Demon Queen happens, the love Noah and Levi share is an important component of defeating the fiend. Through their love, the magic of the weapon becomes stronger. However, this story is a tragic one. Even though Levi defeats the Demon Queen, he perishes in the process. Noah and Elijah live on, and peace returns to the Lokari Empire. I remember crying at the end of the book and cursing the author for writing such a beautiful yet heart-wrenching tale. I reread the novel twice. Saint of the Golden Bow is really one of my favorite stories. I still don't appreciate being reincarnated into this world, though, especially not as Celeste, whose only purpose in the story is to add angst to Levi's life. Okay, okay. But hear me out, chat. If Levi loves Celeste, and then he fell in love with Noah, just saying. EB of the LGBTQIA+, potentially. You come in great hand. You're very handy, Hubert. Very handy. Owl. Yes, he's an owl. God, this is why I can't have nice things. I didn't die when I was supposed to, though, and now the story has continued regardless. I wonder how many things will change because Celeste is alive. And Levi still fall in love with Noah despite the fact that I'm still here? Ugh. I really want my ship to sail and for the boys to get together, but I don't know if that outcome is possible under these circumstances. If Levi and Noah don't fall in love at the end of the quest, will Levi still be able to defeat the Demon Queen? I could do it. I shudder. What if I've broken the story beyond repair by avoiding my demise? Or, hear me out, we made it better because now there's 3 love interests. The only thing we... I just had a super genius idea, and it would be so much fucking work, so it's not worth it. But I think if this is a normal otome, right, where you have 3 love interests and you could choose, I think there should be a route where if you romance Elijah, Noah and Levi should still get together. That is my opinion. I think this should be a Tali Garrus thing, where if you don't romance Tali and you don't romance Garrus, they'll romance each other. If they're already destined to be together in the book, I think there should be a route where you can romance Elijah and Noah and Levi get together, and and that's decided based on how you wing woman. I'm just throwing that out there. I think that would be cool. It'd be a lot of fucking work though, okay? So just take that with a grain of salt. But I'm just saying, my brain is working overtime. What was I supposed to do though? Just roll over and die? That's so not like me. I'm a fighter. Maybe I can change the story even further so that Levi can still survive the final encounter. By sacrificing yourself, maybe. I have no idea how to make this plan work, but maybe opportunities to influence the world further will present themselves to me. Nice. After all, though the thought is chilling, what's happening here isn't just a web novel story. Saint of the Golden Bow is my new reality. Ooh. Okay, yay, thank you. Once again, a big thing of mine is when there's no time skips, right? That was fine. The next day, we woke up healthy, nice, giving a little backstory of Saint of the Golden Bow. Love that, that's fine. I was really concerned about the next 2 days. Time skip, beautiful, get me to the main events, I'm in. On the day of Celeste and Eurydice's 18th birthday, Father takes us to the capital to attend the Golden Bow ceremony. Levi had his 18th birthday a few days ago as well. Since he's of lower standing than the Count's family, Father got the approval of the church for Levi to attend our ceremony together with us instead of his own a few days earlier. Your knight has to guard you at all times, Father had said to Celeste before I reincarnated into her body. After the encounter with the imp, he's become even more convinced that Levi shouldn't leave my side. Not that Levi is complaining about having to stick close to me for obvious reasons. Now Eurydice, Levi, and I stand in the middle of the chapel in the royal palace in Solis, Locaria Empire's capital. Behind us are the many other people who will be tested. Head out for the night, Tompi, of course. Thank you for modding and being here. I appreciate you. Sleep well. I'll message you if I have time at work tomorrow. It's gonna be a busy day. Yes, tomorrow night there is no stream. Reaper is taking a very much deserved day off and going out with friends because apparently I have those IRL, so. Appreciate you, Tompi. Sleep well. Before us, the High Priest Elijah Soren takes a spot behind the titular Golden Bow, the fabled artifact that will choose the saint one day. Can I also just say, the music is really nice, and just it adds. It's not overbearing in any way. I enjoy this. I know that day will be today, since Levi is the one who will be chosen. I eye the bow with suspicion. Light reflects off its gold-covered surface. The design is pretty and elaborate. Looks like a pain in the ass to use as a weapon. Too ornamental for my taste.
We are all gathered here today to see if the golden bow, the weapon given to us by our Lord to help us one day defeat the vile demon queen, will finally choose its saint.
Okay. Elijah's voice is also phenomenal. Let's get this up. There we go. And then Elijah is voiced by Nicholas Contreras. Nicholas Contreras. Oh, I love it. I don't think I was expecting that voice for Levi, though, or Elijah, so, ooh, okay.
On this beautiful morning, when the sun's rays fall through the windows of our chapel, let us give our gratitude to the Lord. He has given us means to end the war that has been raging for so many decades.
I've never been particularly religious, even in my past life. I especially don't believe in a fantasy god, but
Let us give our gratitude.
that is exactly what I thought Eurydice would sound like. Good. Eurydice is Ginger Sue. Ginger Sue.
Let us give our gratitude.
When Eurydice and Levi bow their heads and say the words of a prayer along with all the other people in the hall, I mumble the words as well.
Let us give our gratitude.
Good job. I don't want to draw suspicion to myself after all.
20 years ago, the blessed blacksmith was bestowed with the Lord's inspiration and crafted the golden bow. He worked tirelessly day and night until finally he completed the artifact. Ever since then, the people of the Lokari Empire have sought to be tested on the day of their 18th birthday by the golden bow. The artifact will choose its wielder. That person will become the saint and be tasked with defeating the demon queen who has terrorized our borders for 23 years.
I'm glad Elijah reminds us of the history of the bow. I've forgotten some of the details.
I will now call forth today's attendees to be tested. Each of you just needs to touch the golden bow once, and its judgment will be bestowed on you.
Elijah takes out a sheet of paper and reads the first name from the list. Eurydice de Caris, daughter of Count de Caris. Eurydice approaches the bow. She puts a hand on the artifact. Nothing happens. Of course, what else did I expect? Levi is the saint. The golden bow will only glow for him. A frown appears on the high priest's brow as he reads the next name. Celeste de Caris, daughter of Count de Caris. Did I say Celeste? Celeste. I take a deep breath and step onto the podium, reminding myself I shouldn't expect anything. I put my hand on the weapon. For a moment, nothing happens, but then the bow glows, its light getting brighter and brighter with each second. The light feels scorching hot. I close my eyes, worrying I'll go blind if I don't. You must fight on. I hear the angelic voice again. Was the bow the one speaking to me when I reincarnated? Or was it the god of light himself? The thought that I may have been addressed by a deity is frightening. No. Gods aren't real. You're not religious, Celine. The golden bow. The burning light makes my skin feel like it's on fire, so I take my hand away from the bow. But my hand continues burning, the searing pain climbing up my arm to my chest. Ah! I scream. My head is spinning. The pain is too much for me to handle. I want it to stop. Stop. I'm on fire. Ah, I'm dying. Not again. Lady Celeste. Sister. Levi and Eurydice are calling to me, but I don't have the strength to respond. My consciousness fades, darkness taking me into its comforting embrace. I feel so groggy. I'm in the guest room of the apartment that was assigned to our family when we first arrived at the palace for the ceremony. The impersonal decor makes the place feel cold and unwelcoming. I know the room is supposed to look grand and elegant, but I don't feel at home here at all. Lady Celeste can't be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The role is too dangerous for her. I turn my head to the left. Levi and Eurydice stand by the door. Neither of them notice I'm awake. Just imagining her going on the dangerous quest to defeat the Demon Queen makes me terrified for her life. We have to stop the Church and Empress from declaring her to be the Saintess. Levi, it's not for us to decide who the Saintess is. Neither is it the choice of the Church or the Empress. It's the God of Light who singled out Celeste to be the savior of our empire. This must be some kind of mistake. Levi, you're committing blasphemy here. You can't go against God's wishes. But Lady Celeste is... Look, I know you're worried for my sister, but please mind your words. If someone other than me hears your opinion about God's choice, you may get in trouble. So I really am the Saintess of the Golden Bow. I speak up, not believing my own words. Levi and Eurydice turn to me. Eurydice runs up to the bed and takes my hand in hers. Celeste, you're awake. How are you feeling? Fine, I think. Just a bit tired. You really scared us in the chapel. You screamed like someone was tearing you apart. The light of the bow entering my body felt like it was burning me. That sounds horrible. Tears well up in Eurydice's eyes. I squeeze her hand, trying to comfort her. I glance behind her to where Levi still stands by the door. He has a defeated look on his face. When he notices me watching him, he finally approaches the bed, standing behind Eurydice. Okay, one thing that's really important. These are similar sprites. The faces have changed, but the hand on his chest near his heart and hand on his sword, her hand being here, that is all the same. It is the facial expressions that have changed. But because of how they've placed the characters, you can actually feel fucking depth. And it's just small details like that that can add to a scene. Especially when people are like, oh, there's not much I can do with it. Like, it's just, you know, a picture on a screen. Like, there's not much to otomes. It's like, there's so much you can do, though, that's just minuscule that can add more to a story. I'm right. He's going to come up close. Either they're going to go to the normal, like, standing side by side, or he's also going to get bigger and closer as he approaches the bed. I can't be the Saintess. It was supposed to... I cut myself off when I realized I almost just said that Levi was supposed to be chosen as a saint. I can't tell them what happens in the book. They don't even know they live in a fictional world. For some inexplicable reason, the Golden Bow, or the God of Light himself, has chosen me instead of the savior of the Lokari Empire. Why me? I ponder out loud. I'm so confused. I don't want to be the Saintess. Why has the story suddenly changed so much? I only did my best to survive. Did the fact that I wasn't slain by the demon really create such a severe butterfly effect? Or had I already been chosen at the moment of my reincarnation? I mean... the God of Light did say the same thing twice to you now. I remember the angelic voice of the bow sounding just like the voice I had heard after dying in the accident as Celine. I'm sure you'll do fine. You're excellent at archery. Eurydice smiles through her tears, trying to reassure me. I'm not as confident about my fighting skills as Eurydice is. Celeste may have been good at the bow, but I can't access her full abilities. Judging by my handwriting, I can only manage the bare minimum of what she could do. I'm not proficient in any of her skills. I only know how to use the bow somewhat from my experience at Celine in middle school. Oh, this whole situation is so depressing. No, I mustn't lose heart. I have to stay strong and face my fate head on. What's going to happen to me now? The Empress has summoned you for an audience. 3 hours from now. What does the Empress want with me? Eurydice wipes her tears away. She didn't say, but we think she intends to personally congratulate you on your new role. Alright. I suppose I should start getting ready then. First, High Priest Elijah requested to check on you as soon as you woke up. Check on me? With his light magic, he wants to see if your body and mind are alright after being touched by God's grace. I'm feeling okay, but I suppose I shouldn't turn away a member of the church. Not complying with their wishes might be dangerous now that I'm somewhat part of their organization. The reality is so overwhelming that I would really prefer to be alone now, but there's no time for me to mull over what's happened. The chance to break down will come later, after everyone goes to sleep. Okay, you can tell the High Priest I'll see him. I'll bring him here. Levi turns around and walks out of the room in long strides. Eurydice gives me a comforting smile. Everything's going to be okay. I hope so too. Silence falls between us, but it's a cozy, warm kind of quiet. I get the feeling that no matter what happens, Eurydice will support me. Good! I didn't want a bad sisterly vibe. Okay, good. I envy Celeste for having such a great sister and friend. I should use this opportunity to ask Eurydice some questions about my situation. I'll just have to be careful about how I broach the topics. I don't want to reveal my jumbled knowledge about the world. Okay. Excuse me. I'll be honest, I am getting a little bit sleepy, so I think we'll ask these questions. I would like to meet both of the other romances. We'll see. So what does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? What exactly does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? The Saintess is the fourth most important person in the Lokari Empire, after the Empress, her Emperor Consort, and the Crown Prince. Emperor Consort. That means the Empress is the head. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I love matriarchal, yes, I love matriarchal lines. I love that. That's my, yes. I also love seeing Emperor Consort. It's just something really nice. And I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's because I'm sleepy. I love that. Okay, yes, good, excellent. Wait a minute, though. That means if you romance the prince, do you become the Empress Consort, or does he become the Emperor Consort? Is the Empress the daughter of the ruler before, therefore it just descends? Or is it matriarchal? It could just be depending on, like, the firstborn child or the only child that was born, right? Okay, I could have gotten a little ahead of myself. Anyway. You're on par with the head of the church, the High Priest. Am I part of the church now? You're not a priest or a priestess, if that's what you're asking. You're still a noble, so you can marry someone of noble standing if you like. You're not sworn like the clergy to only marry within the church. Ah, I remember that subplot regarding Elijah. He wouldn't be able to be with Levi because Elijah's only allowed to marry someone from the priesthood. Forbidden love. A popular trope. What's up, Natsukusa? I'll say hello again when the ads are gone. Marriage? That feels so far away. We're 18 now, so Father will probably help us find suitable suitors soon. Yes, most systems are patriarchal, but this one said Empress and the Emperor Consort. So, We're not going by real standards. This is an otome. This is a webcomic. This is an isekai. We don't go by normal standards here.
I would like to marry for love if at all possible.
Love. Love was one of the components needed to defeat the Demon Queen. Levi and Noah's love. Would I have to fall in love with someone now that I was the Saintess? I hope I'll have enough time if that's really necessary. I'm not someone who falls in love easily. Do you have someone in mind for marriage?
What? Maybe?
You can tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody.
Maybe another time. I'm not ready to admit it myself.
I chuckle. Eurydice is adorable when she's shy. How long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? Oh, no, I'm talking about if you romance the prince. I'm saying if you romance the prince. Yeah, how long has the Empire waited for the Saintess?
As the High Priest said, the Golden Bow was created by the Blessed Blacksmith 20 years ago, before we were even born. They say he worked tirelessly day and night for 2 weeks to create the artifact. The design was bestowed upon him by the God of Light himself. The Blessed Blacksmith said God told him in a dream that the Golden Bow will choose its saint when the time is right. Only the saint can wield the weapon and harness its power.
What Eurydice tells me aligns with the backstory I already know from the novel, but it's good to be reminded about the details. I listen intently. What kind of power does the Golden Bow have?
Light-aligned magic, the kind that the priests wield. It is said that only an arrow shot from the artifact will be able to kill the Demon Queen.
The usual fantasy world MacGuffin then. For plot reasons, other weapons can't harm the ultimate boss. Right, makes sense. It doesn't, but Eurydice doesn't seem to be aware of how ridiculous it is that only one weapon wielded by one special person can kill the enemy that the Empire has been fighting against for decades.
After the Golden Bow was created, the whole Lokari Empire and our allied kingdom of Durandal were tested to see if the saint was among them. But the savior wasn't found. Later, it was decided that every person would get tested on their 18th birthday, as suggested by the Blessed Blacksmith. 20 years passed, but the saint still wasn't found. Until now.
It feels so random that I was actually chosen as a Saintess. But it's my reality now. This world seems to operate on book logic anyway. What do we know about the Demon Queen?
What do we know about the Demon Queen? The people who have seen her say she looks like a beautiful woman, except she also has horns, a tail, and a third eye on her forehead. But she's far from human. She's cruel and dangerous. She kills humans without mercy. She commands an army of demons, vile monstrosities. You saw one. Was it ugly as they say?
The imp wasn't pretty, that's for sure.
The war has been going on for 23 years now. Over that time, 1/3 of Lokari Empire's lands to the east have been ravaged by war and infiltrated by the demons. They leave only ruins behind when they take over a town. Their fire is said to be ever burning. You'll have to travel east to defeat the Demon Queen. She's taken up residence in the Claumund Castle. It used to be the seat of Duke Claumund and his family, but they had to abandon their homeland to the demons 10 years ago.
That news doesn't make me want to go to the border at all. It'll be like walking straight into the maws of the enemy.
I fear you won't have a choice in the matter. The Empress decreed long ago that once a saint or saintess was found, they would immediately embark on the quest to defeat the Demon Queen with a party of the most capable fighters.
A quest, huh? Sounds like a story from a role-playing game. For an otome? Not that I expected anything else from this book world. Levi went on this quest as a saint after all.
I just hope you won't have to leave too soon.
I think I'll need some time to learn to wield the golden bow and to accept the whole situation.
I'm sure the Empress will understand.
Okay, that's all the questions.
Those are all the questions I have, for now at least. Thank you for helping me sort through everything, sister. Eurydice gives me a bright smile. That's what I'm here for. One thing's certain. The people of the Lokhari Empire have been waiting for the Saintess for ages. A lot of faith will be put into your abilities. A lot will be expected from you. I don't envy you. If I could, I would share this burden with you.
Thank you. I'm really moved by Eurydice's dedication to me. There's a knock on the door, then Levi's voice can be heard from the other side. High Priest Elijah and Count Decaris have arrived. They can enter. Elijah comes into the room, followed by Father. Levi closes the door behind them, remaining in the living room of our apartment to guard the entrance. The High Priest bears a friendly smile. Father, on the other hand, wears his usual scowl on his face. He seems like he wants to say something. I give him an inquiring look, which is met with a glare. I don't know if I should laugh or cry at the fact that his disposition towards Celeste hasn't changed, even in the middle of such a life-changing situation. What does Celeste have to do for her father to show her affection? If I had any hope that he would be proud of me now that I had suddenly advanced to a great position in the hierarchy of the Empire, it evaporates now. I decide not to say anything to Father while Elijah is around. I don't want him to witness a fight between us, and I doubt I can hold my tongue right now. May I sit beside you? Sure. Elijah approaches and sits beside me on the bed. I need to touch you to make sure you're healthy. Is that all right? Again, tiny little thing. Literally, it's not even like with an ill intent, but I do enjoy when may I touch you? There's a question and I love that. Reaper, I'd love to talk about some cute female cutie focused series. I want to announce a series but don't want to break your stride. I will say, I do want to try to get through this. It is a little bit late for me and I do need to go to bed, but that is absolutely something we can either talk about in the Discord or like during the just chatting part of the next stream, if that's okay. I would happily talk to you about this in the Discord though. Like if you're like, I need to talk to someone about this, absolutely the Discord. Is that how light magic works? As someone who reincarnated here from Earth, I have little knowledge about magic. I don't remember a scene like this one with the High Priest in the book. Come to think of it, Levi didn't faint after touching the golden bow. He must have a much stronger resistance to pain than I do. Celeste doesn't know about magic either. She has no magical powers of her own after all. Nobody in the Decaris family does. If Elijah says he has to touch me for his magic to work though, I doubt he's lying. I look at him. He stares back at me with a patient smile. It's a very nice design on him. The High Priest is really attractive. I never thought I would find a guy with pink hair dashing, but he must have the longest lashes I've ever seen on a man. I blush realizing I'm checking Elijah out. He's a priest for heaven's sake. Eurydice just reminded me that he can only marry within the clergy. He's off limits. Besides, he only wants to touch me to make sure I'm okay. Stupid hormones. I clear my throat, though I can do nothing to stop my cheeks from burning. All right, go ahead. Oh my god, there's so much fan service so early on. Elijah surprises me by leaning his forehead against mine. Before I can protest, an aura of white surrounds his body. He's really working his magic on me. But I close my eyes and focus on how his magic makes me feel. His touch is pleasant and warm. I become strangely comforted. Before I realize what I'm doing, I lean in closer towards him. Elijah's chuckle makes me snap out of the comforting embrace of his magic.
Light magic does have a good feel, doesn't it?
Oh my god, I love his voice. There's a twinkle in his eye and a confident smirk on his face.
Is he flirting with me? Embarrassed, I pull away. Lady Celeste is healthy. I can also confirm that the Golden Bow's magic has entered her body. She's the Saintess. Father lets out a heavy sigh. I hope you won't embarrass me. I glare at him, pursing my lips. I want to call him out on his unkind behavior, but I stop myself. I turn back to Elijah instead. Thank you for the checkup. You're welcome. Only 2 hours remain now until Celeste has to attend the audience with the Empress. Ah, yes, we should go and let Sister prepare for seeing the Empress. I want to keep talking with Elijah. If anyone can explain to me more about the Golden Bow's magic, it's him. Unfortunately, now is not the right time. Father rings the bell. A moment later, Linda appears in the doorway. Make Celeste presentable for meeting the Empress and Emperor Consort. Yes, my lord. Everyone says their goodbyes to me and they leave me alone with my maid.
And I'm going to say that that is where I'm going to leave this tonight. So, the next part, I believe, of course, we're going to meet the Empress, but we will also probably meet the third romance, Noah, the Prince. I'm going to save. I'm gonna laugh if I'm actually reading it or if I've read it already, Natsukusa. I'm halfway through the demo, easy. Yo, next Tuesday, easy can finish. Okay, so we have to meet the third romance and then maybe like start on the adventure? I don't know. Although, to be fair, I also don't know how many, like... Wait, can you tell us? Wait, transparent. Can you tell us, like... Are there going to be, like, how do I say it? Like, is it going to kind of be, like, acts? Or, like this is the introduction act, right? And then, like, is there going to be, you know, scaling a mountain act and, you know, crossing the ocean act and then, you know, defeating the demon queen kind of act, like, kind of thing? Or is it, can't tell you shit, cause can't ruin the magic? Get some sleep, boss! I enjoy teasing you. Ah. I'm excited to see what you've posted, Natsukusa. If you read it, besties, and you have to call me by my power word, oh my god. The common route is 2 parts. The noble life and training, and then the quest. Ooh. But the whole thing is 4 or 5 hours, and we'll be done for November. This is just... So November is going to be the full common route. Is that what I'm reading right? November's the full common route, but the romance routes are going to be later on. Yeah, sweet. So we can play the demo. November rolls around, I come back, finish the common route, and then as the romance routes come out, I just play those. I love it when a plan comes together. I did save, right? I did save. Okay, we're good. I love when a plan comes together. I absolutely actually want to play more because I really did want to meet Noah, but I can already feel like my voice like going as I'm doing Eurydice's voices and stuff. Also, now that I know what the voice actors have for the guys' voices, I'll be honest, I was planning on putting Elijah's voice a little bit of a higher pitch. So the fact that that voice actor is actually mid-tone, as is Levi, I'm like, ooh, I'm so conscious of their actual voice actors. I say that though, but I love the voice actors. They have similar tone, like they're in a similar range, right? But the feeling, and I don't know if that's the writing, I don't know if that's the character, the feeling of them is very, very different. And people are going to be like, well, duh, they're different characters. I just don't know how to explain it, okay? I don't know how to explain it, but I love it. So I am actually going to be off this Saturday, and I'm also going to be off next Friday. So my plan is to come back to this on Tuesday and do a little cheeky Otome Tuesday stream, kind of like we did last week. Simply because I want to get through my Otomes and I want to play and I want these stories, right? Oh my god, this is the first 15k and the whole thing's gonna be 335. This is a fucking workout, y'all. We need some more monies for that. Money's in time, am I right? Sleep? Okay, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep as soon as my boyfriend shows up. Good morning, babe. I'm sorry, I'm ending stream. I do, because I wrote the voicing directions. You know what I mean. You get it. Yeah, time to. Yeah. Well, if you can't, like, the thing is, like, if you don't get the money, right? Like, you work on it as the money comes in. So, like, if you did a Kickstarter, then you get all that money, you can work on it more. But if it's like, it doesn't work like that, and like you're doing it in your off time based, like, you know, out of love and interest, then it's like, well, yeah, it's gonna be a longer time. We know how Otomes work over here. More or less, I know how Otomes work over here. Oh yeah, or publisher. Ooh, that would be interesting. I'm working. Oh, you heard it here first. They're working on it. Whether it's a Kickstarter or a publisher, we're not sure. We're working on it, though. There is a Patreon. I will shout that out. There's a Patreon. But, YouTube, that is it for me. Well, actually, as I do the outro, Twitch chat, you guys want to say bye to YouTube? That would be really nice and sweet of you. YouTube, this has been part 1 of Saintess of the Golden Bow demo. I will be back with a part 2, probably in another video. This is halfway. It's about an hour and a half. It'll be a nice little 2-parter. Let me know in the comments below, what is like your favorite aspect of the demo so far, the game so far? Is it art? Is it the story? Is it the characters? I feel like the conversations are really natural too. That's something else I really enjoy about it. Is it the music? Is it the voice acting? Let me know in the comments below, what is like your favorite aspect of Otomes? As well as if you read Korean webcomics, you wanna drop that down below? You wanna drop some recommendations so I can read some more? That would be sweet. I can never have enough Korean webcomics, to be honest. But with that, YouTube, I hope that you have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.